How many folks here either sell or market or manufacture a physical product, something you have to put into a box and mail? Yeah, okay, fantastic. How many folks do some kind of digital product, something you can just take care of online? Okay, great. And how many folks don't do any kind of product at all? It's more of like a service. Service folks here? Doctors, lawyers, anybody? Okay, fantastic. Well, what I wanted to do is jump in and tell you about a problem that you might already realize you have, and if you don't, fantastic. This is great, because words matter. Keywords matter. I need to find my little, is this what advances my slides? Let's see, no. Is this what advances my slides? Fantastic. So, how to crush your competition with killer keywords. First of all, let me say, it's not about crushing your competition. I like to think of it as outsmart your competition. Because how many people know this old joke? If you've heard it, forgive me, but two guys are getting chased by a bear in the woods, and they're running as fast as they can. I'm going to come down here because the stage is kind of small. They're running as fast as they can. They're running, and the guy says, hey, do you think we can outrun the bear? And the guy's like, I'm not trying to outrun the bear. I'm just trying to outrun you. Right? Okay, stupid joke. Yeah. But the idea is you don't need to crush your competition. You don't need to kill your competition. All you've got to do is be a little bit better than your competition. That's all. So how do we be a little bit better than our competition? Let me tell you a little story if you don't mind. Imagine your local Canadian Tire store, or if you're from the lower 48, imagine your local Target store, or wherever you like to shop. Imagine your favorite physical store. Okay? When you walk in, it probably looks something like this. And imagine you're coming in here to buy, I don't know, a TV. It doesn't matter what. But on your way to find the TV you're going to buy, you're probably going to walk in front of all the different crazy kinds of things like these guys are. They're looking at tire stuff. They're looking at oil changing stuff. I don't know what they're looking at. But the point is, when you go into a Canadian Tire and you're shopping for stuff, you're going to walk past all kinds of different things. You're going to walk past hundreds of different products, hundreds of different brands. You don't actually need to know exactly what you're looking for first, because you're going to find all this stuff as you're walking around in there. And then even when you found what you're looking for, on your way out, you're going to pass more stuff. I have no idea if this lady needs shampoo or not, but she's staring down the shampoo aisle, and if she needed shampoo, she'd be like, oh, dang, now that I got my TV, I need some shampoo. Let me come in here and buy some. And by the way, just let me go off on a tangent. Does the world need this many kinds of shampoos? Really? I mean, honestly? All right, anyway, the point is, when she finally gets to the checkout lane, what happens to us? More stuff we're looking at, right? If I was a candy manufacturer, I almost wouldn't even need to worry about how do I connect with my customers. I just stick myself there, boom, I'm connecting with my customers. So this is the regular way people shop. This is what we expect when we walk into a Canadian Tire or a Target, right? Now imagine a magical one. Let's say the one closest to your house and the one you like to shop at closed down. A magical one opened in its place. What the magical one looks like is this. You walk in and every single product is invisible. Now the shelves are stocked. They're all there. Nothing's out of stock, but they're all invisible. This new store requires the customer to come walking on in, and instead of browsing around looking for what they're going to buy, this new magical store requires you to speak what you came in to buy. I came in to buy a 40-inch LCD television set. I came in to buy a mint-flavored shampoo. I don't know what, right? But the idea is everybody walks in and they have to say what they're looking for. And this magical store turns on 15 things that they think you meant when you walked in and said what you were looking for. You look at the 15 and you go, okay, thank you, I'm ready to check out. There's no candy. There's no walking up and down the aisles. There's no browsing around. You go in, you say, they show, you pick, you're out. That's the new magical shopping experience. Now, I understand that the analogy is about shopping online, but imagine if your physical store, the one down the street from where you live, imagine if they suddenly switched and worked like this. Would you just accept it? Would you throw a fit? Would you talk to the manager? Would you this sucks, I'm never shopping here again? Maybe, probably. It feels normal online, but this would be crazy to shop like this in the real world. Now, since this is kind of where the world is going to buy goods and services, this really means more than ever, words matter. Words absolutely, positively matter now more than ever before. I hope the audio you can hear okay, but I've got a little video here for you. We're going to advance, and do I need to hit space?
Das hier ist nur ein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät, das Überlebensradar.
This is the German Coast Guard.
We're sinking.
thinking about...
I stole that little Berlitz commercial. I didn't ask those guys. I hope I don't get in trouble. And by the way, if anybody needs to learn a new language, use Berlitz. Maybe we can throw some of the love their way. But the point is, now more than ever, words matter. The context of words matter. Your intention behind these words matter. This all matters more than ever before. The moral of this story, and what I hope you remember about this, and remember nothing else about me, and that is, your customers' words have to be your words. Now, I know there's a lot of smart people here up on stage, and so let me try to use fancier words. Audience vernacular, right? So yeah, if you want the fancy words, it's audience vernacular. If you want the not so fancy words, it's your customers' words have to be your words. They have to be, because if you don't, you're not connecting with them. No matter what you sell, no matter what kind of goods or services you're after, you absolutely need to describe them using the same terms and phrases and words that they do. Let me give you a couple examples. First, before I jump into examples, how do you actually discover them? Okay, if you manufacture a widget, you're probably going to look at the widget and say, well, I think it weighs so much, it's so many ounces and so many inches and centimeters and blah, blah, blah. And you probably describe the physical aspects of it, what it's made out of, et cetera. But that's not always how your customers think about what you're selling. What I would suggest you do is somehow connect with your customers. Listen to them in any context. Ask them in any context. Eavesdrop on them if they're having a conversation about your product. In fact, I would say if you sell a physical product, walk into a store and loiter in the aisle where that product is sold. Just hang out there. I mean, don't do it creepy, right? But hang out there somehow. Listen to how people are shopping up and down the aisle. Listen to how people are asking for help to find your product. I think that would be a fantastic way to hear the words your customers are using when they're trying to find you. Now, let's pretend, just for a silly example, that you're marketing barf bags, all right? And it's a silly example. Is there anyone here selling barf bags? Marketing them, selling them, manufacturing them? No, dang it, I'm hoping to meet someone who does. I have a bunch of questions for them. Let's pretend for a moment that your job is to market barf bags, right? Now, what you would probably do if you're authoring the content or doing blog posts or doing tweets or whatever, you would probably throw out some of the words you probably use. Barf bag, what else? Anybody else? Ideas, come on, let me hear some. Gross, all right, no, but you're, all right, fine. Would you probably use maybe air sickness bag, perhaps? What's that? So all of the different things you're thinking about, those are fantastic, but check this out. Imagine you went to some area, this is just a screenshot from Amazon, but some place where your customers are talking about your product. Listen to your customers in any possible way you can. I'm not sure if you can read this, but what it says here is a review about a barf bag, and it says, these are coming in handy for me in my pregnancy. Oh, they fit great in my purse. Awesome. I always keep one of those for my morning and night sickness, and they are leak-proof. If I was selling barf bags or marketing them or manufacturing them, had any role at all with barf bags, I would be like, you know what? There's a wealth of how customers are describing and searching for my product that never would occur to me in a million years. Thank you, Amazon, or whatever source I use to try to find the language of my customers' vernacular. You can also, I'm from Merchant Words. I'm the founder of a little tool that helps people understand whether or not there's purchase intent behind keywords. I'll get to that in a second. There's a little screenshot of this. You can also use a tool similar to Merchant Words to tell you what kind of purchase intent behind every keyword. But the point is, no matter where you find your keywords, using a tool like mine, listening yourself in a physical store, or just browsing around on Amazon to try to discover how people are talking about your product, you absolutely have to connect with your customers' words. Now, a quick little success story here. I knew a lady, her name's Elena, she's fantastic. She runs a storefront called Bling Jewelry. If you're looking to buy any kind of jewelry, I suggest you go to blingjewelry.com. Bling Jewelry, Elena, who runs the website, said, you know what, I discovered your little tool, and I wanted to see if there were any other ways that I could describe my jewelry, because my problem is I took a big load of inventory of anklets, bracelets for your ankle. Took a big load of inventory of anklets, and I just can't get them to sell, and I don't know how to market them correctly. So I fired up your little tool. I was suspicious because I'd never heard about you. No one's ever talked about you before. You were a complete unknown to me. So I was suspicious. I fired up your little tool. I typed in the word anklet. And your tool suggested, apart from the word anklet, which was a good one, that I start using the phrase hot wife anklet and swinger anklet. So immediately I began to be suspicious about who the heck you were and what the heck your tool did, and I did not want to associate my brand with those phrases, no matter what they mean. And I guess she had an inkling of what they mean. Honestly, I don't know exactly what they mean because I'm no expert in those either, but apparently they tell me that if you wear it on one side, it means one thing. If you wear it on another side, it means another thing. I don't really know exactly what they all mean, except if you ever do go into a party and you've got an anklet on one side or the other, watch out. I don't know. But anyway, she said, you know what, I have no idea if this is legit or not, but I'll give it a try. Since she was also an Amazon seller, she had an Amazon storefront, she plugged in swinger and hot wife into the back end of search terms. Those are the search terms that Amazon, the algorithm, uses to match customer queries against products. And so she was probably the only anklet seller in the world who thought to put swinger anklet and hot wife anklet into the back end description of her product. She told me after she did that, she went from can't sell a single one to can't keep them in stock. Now, she didn't manufacture demand, right? She didn't suddenly trigger a bunch of people to want to start buying anklets, and she didn't suddenly manufacture a bunch of people going to swinger parties with anklets on, but what she did do is she unknowingly tapped into a large body of people searching for her who would have otherwise not connected with her because she didn't know how to describe her product. And so, like I said, the one thing you remember about me, if anything, is your vernacular, your words, your description of your product has to match their words, their vernacular, their description of the product. I was chatting with someone last time at the DigiMark we had in New York, and he said, you know what, George, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, because back in the day when I was doing SEO for websites, we made one little tweak. We changed the word vacation into holiday, and our traffic increased 1,000 times. That's probably an exaggeration, but at least he understood what we were talking about. Now, quickly, let me just wrap up. We have an existing keyword tool which is primarily focused at merchants who sell physical products. That tool we sell for $30 a month. We love to give a discount for $9 if anybody's interested and you want to try it out. But the next thing I wanted to talk about, though, is something we're not even selling. It's totally free during beta. We want to get your feedback on it. We have an upcoming content tool. If you're a marketer and you're marketing any kind of product, whether it's physical, digital, or just services, we're working on something. We don't know if it's going to be a home run for you guys or just like a slightly useful or helpful tool. We'd like to get your feedback to help us understand if we're building the right thing. Quickly, in a nutshell, what it is you would take your content, whether it's a tweet or a 500-word article or your blog post or whatever, paste it into our tool, and we would zoom through all of those phrases and try to discover which are the ones that have purchase intent behind them and which are the ones that have no purchase intent behind them. Because the idea is if you're authoring dense, rich copy that's going to be valuable to your company and drive dollars your way, you want to make sure, I would imagine, that you have the most purchase intent dense keywords in your content that you can. So that's the tool that we have coming out in beta. I would love to shoot you an email after the show and invite you to participate, and I'd love to get your feedback. And in a nutshell, that's me. If you want to, oh, thanks, Harry. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So if you'd like to connect with me, I'll be here all day. I'd love to give you a business card, shake your hand, meet you, hear more about you, your business, your problems, and help you kind of connect with your customers. But if you want to connect with me electronically, that's the way. My email address, which is in blue and kind of hard to read, is just george@merchantwords.com. Although I got to confess to you honestly, sometimes my email box gets overwhelmed. So if you don't mind friending me on Facebook and looking at some of my vacation pictures, that's an easier way to connect to me too. So I'd love to have you check out a beta of our tool. Get back in touch with me, let me know if it's useful or valuable, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Great stuff.